A couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap things up so you guys can mingle with Mr. Fowler. Sherry? Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could share with us what's getting you excited right now. I mean, you're talking about retirement, but is there anything in the last few months that you could share with us that still gets that engine running?
Well, it's just being here talking to you folks. I like it. It's fun. It's rewarding, but away from here, now I am looking around. I've got next week. We've got somewhat involved. We have a charitable foundation that we've created, and there's the talk about franchising. This is an interesting thing. There's a thing in St. Catharines that a lady has started. She started now. Time flies, like 20 years ago, and it's called SMUN. Start Me Up Niagara. And it's a homeless place where people gather. But this woman, she has made such a success of it. It's working because the way it operates. And we were there last night for a spaghetti dinner, which they do the once a month spaghetti dinner, the last one of the season. But they've got an idea that I think should be more across Canada, and the way they help all these homeless people. So I get excited. I'm not going to make any money out of that one for sure, but it's almost franchisable because it should be in other cities. I think it's different than a lot of the homeless shelters that are being run. Just the way they treat the people who come in. There's no, they're not religious. They're not this. They're not that. It's just well balanced place where people come and get some help, so to speak. And other things. I don't know. I'm looking, and you're absolutely right. I am looking around. If I see an idea, and the right person, not going to be me anymore, not at my age, but if I see somebody who's got a great idea, and they need money, but they are the people. It's not going to be me, and we don't have money either.
What kind of attitude is that? You're not going to retire. Of course, it can be you. One of the things, Sherry, that Mr. Fowler mentioned downstairs, because I asked him a similar question. He believes there's huge opportunities in the internet. He thinks that's he said if we were starting out over again, you'd be looking at.
If I understood, I don't. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's still a long ways to go. There's still huge opportunities. I did say as well some opportunities because of people like me, and you're getting up there, Guy, and it's well.
Well, this will be my last engage. Thank you very much for coming.
These senior citizens, there's a huge opportunity where they're living longer, they got money, and so offering opportunities for them to engage, live different lifestyles, share, participate. Who knows in what format as it happens. I just my wife and I are going down a couple weeks from now to Newfoundland. Well, I'm still. I drive and so on. I do what everybody else does, but I think there's a huge opportunity somewhere between maybe the bus trip that a bunch of old folks get on a bus and they're hauled around, and where you got to totally do it all yourself. Is there some balancing thing? So I saw one ad, some outfit down there, which was drive yourself, but they're guided holidays. Well, my wife and I were in New Zealand some time ago. We went on a package. It wasn't a package, but everything was booked. Our hotels were booked, but it was drive yourself, and so had been packaged by somebody in New Zealand for us. So who knows?
It takes a lot of the stress out of the travel, but you're still independent.
You're still independent. Yeah. So, but many ways that a lot of these people delivering meals to houses. I got thinking the other day that little stores, the 1,000 square foot, but focused on you're starting to see it in the big supermarkets and Zehrs and so on, but where there's these meals that they're kind of putting together, but the big stores are doing it that's mass produced. But if there was a store that mostly where there's big apartment buildings, people go down and they pick up a quality meal, and the menu's changing. The prices are fair, maybe a little bit more than they charge at Loblaws or Zehrs or whatever you call these stores, and yet it's not junk, it's not totally processed, and so who knows? So stores that, so, anybody want to
We got
start
about
one of those
30
out? Let me know, I'd like to see what it's all about.
We got 35 business ideas. Very quickly, a lot of real estate folks in here. I've read so much about your real estate. One of the things that you've said that really resonates with me is about staying power in real estate. We have one of the hottest markets in I don't know how long. Can you just talk about your philosophy on staying power and how to ride through that?
Now, fundamentally, what I say about real estate is exactly what you just said. Unless we're real stupid, unless we really buy wrong, really wrong, in the end, you will win if you have staying power. If you can have the money to hang in one way or another while the market changes. Unfortunately, again, we all look like heroes who've been in the real estate business over the years. But looking back from now, the thing that most of us have made our money on is inflation, whether we like it or not. It made you look like a hero quite often because it protected you from yourself when you bought something. The prices did go up. Don't get caught. Some of that stuff that I see in downtown Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and so on, that's scary.